I think that's most challenging is just execution. I mean, I feel like it's kind of the fine line of I feel like here if you make a mistake, it's probably going to be capitalized on and put in the back of your net where in the AHL it might not be. So I think just kind of a fine line with that. And but yeah, I mean, I think it was just it's pretty easy to come since have a good training camp and do all the same stuff down in GR. So.
Have you been relying on advice from some of the veterans on this team that were once in your shoes in Grand Rapids, like a player like Dylan Larkin?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they're all super good about it, and everyone's been super helpful with me and making the transition easy.
Danny, can you talk about the culture that's going on in Grand Rapids right now? Obviously, you've been a part of that team for a little bit here, but what about in the room has helped make that group so successful?
Yeah, they got a good group down there. We had a lot of good guys, and I feel like just kind of ever since the start of the year, we kind of just clicked down there and came together as a group, and just kind of got hot right at the start of the year, and it was a lot of fun.
It's quite a testament to what they're doing down there and watching everybody, considering how many of the guys that they probably expected would be down there that are playing.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's kind of like just that next man up, and yeah, I mean, I think there's probably a couple guys they thought they might have started with down there, but I mean, everyone stepped up, and it's been fun down there.
Just you're getting a look here on the power play. I mean, showing confidence in you right from the start.
Yeah, it definitely helps. I mean, I think just getting to play more and getting more puck touches definitely helps, and just the belief they have in me definitely helps my confidence.
How productive were these last two practice days for you guys and just for this group as you look into tonight?
Yeah, I mean, they were good. I think kind of just a reset from Sunday, and had a hard practice on Tuesday and then a good one again yesterday. So I think everyone's ready to go tonight.
In terms of chemistry with you and Casper, just how much is there, and what about that works for you?
Yeah, I think we got some good chemistry. I mean, we're pretty good friends off the ice, so it's easy to talk about different things and just get to know each other and what we like to do, and that translates to the ice.
Thanks, Danny.
Good morning.
Todd, is Nate Danielson, just his poise with the puck, is that one of the things that stands out about him, and how much can that help a guy with his transition to the NHL where the game just speeds up?
Well, he does have poise with the puck. I'm still getting to know this player. Remember, I've only seen him for 5 or 6 days of training camp, really, maybe 7. So I'm still getting to know him. My time around him, he has shown poise with the puck. He's got a pretty good sense of what's happening around him. Obviously, he's got some good offensive tools. He's had, in junior at least, and transferring it to pro, he's got those. So I think in his transition from the American League to here, it'll take a little bit of an adjustment. It's a different game, but the poise will help him.
Hey, Ted, where do you think Gibby's game is at right now? It seems like there's been some peaks and valleys or whatnot, or what do you think?
Well, the goaltenders usually they're often a direct reflection of where the team's game's at. So it ebbs and flows, and Gibby is he's a competitor, and when he competes and gets things done, he can drag us out of things too. So he'll get a good opportunity tonight to play against his old team, and I'm sure he's going to want to perform well.
You just talked in that question about Nate, you were talking about the adjustment from the AHL to the NHL. When you look at the two leagues, what are the biggest differences? You said it's a different game. What are the things that are between the AHL and the NHL when it comes to
the upper end talent level at the NHL is way higher. The top 100, 200 players in the NHL are much more skilled or talented, and this isn't a disrespect to the guys that are working their butts off down there, but it is just higher skill level. So plays that are going to happen up here, skill plays are going to happen more often. They're going to happen faster, and they're going to happen with individuals that have a lot more confidence. So that's one of the battles that you're going to face. Sometimes it's easier to play up here because it tends to feel a little more organized. I'm sure players have told you that before.
Yeah.
So that can be a positive for an individual coming up. The goaltenders should be at a not a much higher level, but at a more experienced, higher level than what you see down there. But that's why it's a development league. They're all working their way up here. I would imagine that a lot of these players that are playing in the game tonight, all 40 of them that are going to dress, I bet you 30 of them have come through the American League or at least been around it for a while, and they eventually get here and get confident.
When it comes to the adjustment, is it something where, because I imagine this is twofold, you talk about those top players and being able to, the players take advantage of mistakes more and everything like that. When a guy's making the jump from the AHL to the NHL, is it more of you're going to get burned if you make the mistake here, or is it more you have to take advantage of your opportunity here that guys struggle with when they're making the jump?
Well, the players will approach it two different ways. If they come up and play safe and there's fear of error, usually that's when it happens. They're here for a reason. They have a skill set. They play a certain type of game. If they stay within their own skin and play the way they play, then we should be happy with them and continue to work with them. If they start to get outside their skin, whether it's too much or not enough, well, then we ask ourselves, are they ready? Can they change? Are they willing to work on it? Or is this a one-off night? But that's how I see it.
You've already played the Ducks once this season. It wasn't that long ago. What was the biggest takeaway that you had from that game, and what would you like to see most be different about tonight?
Well, the result. That's pretty easy. But no, they are they're a pretty dynamic team. Their young superstars have really evolved. You take Carlson and Gauthier and those type of players. They're playing at a high level, and they're very confident right now. They're going to be at the top of the offensive production in the National Hockey League, and they're all feeling good about their game. So they could skate, they have skill, they have some size, and they're confident. That's probably why they're 11-4-1 or whatever they are.
And then obviously you coached against Joel Quenneville plenty during your time in the West. Would you attribute a good portion of Anaheim's success this season to what he's brought to the team?
I would say yes, but I would include the rest of his staff. And I would also include the Ducks, Beaker's management team. They filled some holes and brought in some complementary players that maybe others thought were done. Old teams or something like that, and they've really come in and played well for their team. So, Joel, but a lot of other people as well.
With this mini break here, the 2 days, 2 full days there, did you get things accomplished? What are you hoping you accomplished practice time-wise?
Well, we picked certain parts of the game, certain areas that we felt needed to be addressed, and we went after it. And when we drove home yesterday after the second practice as a staff, we were satisfied with the effort the players put in and what we got done. But now we have to take the test. And, the test is going to be ongoing. It's just not going to be the first period or 3 periods tonight. It's going to be ongoing, and some of the things that we worked on, we have to see every night. We can't just see improvement when we focus on one thing. Once we focus on it, we practice it, it goes into the bank. We should see improvement throughout the whole year, and we might have to go back and revisit it. But we want to see the, proverbial train moving forward, if you will.
Todd, in regards to the break that you guys have had, a lot of talk about the condensed schedule this season, and a lot of teams are experiencing a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
Is this looking ahead to next year with less exhibition games? Is this a new reality in the NHL that we're going to see more injuries in October and November?
Well, I don't know if I can answer that. I think the theory behind it makes sense because we played 8 exhibition games. We're playing game 17, I believe, tonight. We're 25 games in, and we've been together for, a month and a half. That's a lot. It's funny how you talk about an extended break. It's really only been 2 days for us. We had an off day on Monday, and we had 2 practice days. And in today's world, that's a break. We don't get that again until Christmas. So teams have to be able to get better through video, meetings, instruction, without competing all the time, because you have to give the players, they have to breathe a little bit. Yet when you're not real good at something, you need to practice. So there's a catch-22 there. And we chose to use the time firmly the last 2 days. But how many more long breaks are we going to get? Not very many. So we've got to balance it.
Is that video as effective, Todd, or what have you learned over the years? Is the video as effective as the actual on-ice practice, or can it be?
I think everybody learns differently. Some can learn visually, some learn through their ears, but there's no better way to augment it than see it, hear it, and then go do it. So you try and get as many senses involved as you possibly can, and then you get some repetition. With video, you're showing them once or twice, and then you move on. On the ice, you get reps and practice, and it's never the same thing twice. You're doing it tired, you're doing it fresh, you're doing it on good ice, bad ice. None of that happens in video. So video is a great teaching tool, but the real thing is the best. Okay.